Hey y'all, hey, Erica with Time to Shrink. It is my third and final video on my question and answers that came from my 5K giveaway. I asked for the 5K giveaway for y'all to ask any questions that you had and that I would do a Q&A, a spill the tea type thing. So I got so many that I had to split it into a few videos. So this video is going to be about vertical sleeve gastrectomy specific questions. So let's just get started because I have quite a few, so let's dive in. Did I find protein hard post-op? Yes. Protein is still hard for me post-op. Getting in my daily protein is still hard. Solid protein majorly fills me up super quickly. I am about 10 plus months out right now, and protein fills me up super quickly. The first few months I relied heavily on Gene Pro because it's such a small little scoop for 30 grams of protein. I added that to lots of things. The awesome thing about Gene Pro is it's relatively flavorless. If I put it in a drink, I could taste it. If I put it in a shake, I could not taste it. If I put it in I did a lot of like spinach smoothies with Gene Pro in my first few months post-op, and that didn't fill me up as much as straight solid protein, so I relied heavily on Gene Pro. I still use it here and there. I'll put it in yogurt, things like that. Early on, I also put it in any kind of broth or soup that I had because you couldn't taste it. It didn't change anything about it. It made it a little cloudier looking if you had something clear, but that was it. You couldn't taste it in that, and I was able to get protein that way. Did I struggle with vitamins? I struggled greatly with vitamins because every multivitamin that I tried, I literally threw up. It not just made me nauseous, it came back up. Could not do vitamins very well, and I found Patch MD patches. I know there's lots of different patches, but from what I researched, they seem to be working the best for people. So I started doing patches, a multivitamin patch and I did a multivitamin patch and I did a iron patch, and my labs have been really good from that, so I would say that worked really well for me. And then I realized that Zip Fizz really would replace my multivitamin as long as I had 2 Zip Fizz a day. I got all the multivitamins that I wanted, so I'm doing fine with vitamins now. I can now do a multivitamin pill or chewable, but it took me a good 6 months before I could do any kind of multivitamin pill. Do I count supplements under calories and carbs? Yes. I think you have to count everything. Some gummy vitamins have a ton of sugar and carbs. That is not a good choice, y'all. Don't choose those. There are other ways to get it. The patches have 0 calories and they work. My labs have been better than they were before surgery with my patches. And then obviously I do the Zip Fizz as well. Advice for stalls, motivation in a stall. Okay, I don't like to call them stalls because it sounds negative, and I want this to be a positive, uplifting journey. That may just sound petty, but it's not. The way we phrase things, the way we frame things makes a difference in how we think. So I like to call them plateaus. Yes, I've had a lot of plateaus, but usually, almost always, they weren't true stalls. They were just a few days or a few weeks of not losing. Y'all, our bodies are freaking complicated. Our bodies are complicated. We're not going to, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's not if I eat this many calories and I work this many calories, then I'll lose this many pounds per week. It doesn't work that way. I don't know why anyone thinks that it does. Like, if you stop and think about it, our bodies are so intricate, so complicated. There are so many hormonal things. There are so many body chemistry things. And all of those things, if one thing gets out of whack, we might not lose, or we may gain some water weight. We may gain some inflammation. My body may be working on healing and repairing something. I may be going to have my period. It may be that time of month. I may have some water weight because I had more sodium in some of these processed foods than I realized. As long as I'm on a downward trend, I'm good with it. My biggest advice is to make the right choices, and as long as you're making the right choices, as long as you know you're making those right choices for you, the next right loving step, and then the next one, just trust the journey. Trust the journey has been my mantra the whole time. breathe, relax, and trust the journey. You're not going to lose every single day. You're going to go up and down some. You're going to hit plateaus. It's normal. So motivation when I'm in those, it's just remembering why I'm doing this and remembering to just trust. That's how I stay motivated. What did I do pre-op to prepare for surgery? I think I have a whole video on this, possibly. I'll look. If I do, I'll link it. But I wanted to get my body in the best possible shape that I could before surgery nutritionally. So I started taking really good vitamins, multivitamins. I went through doTERRA supplements. I started taking really good doTERRA supplements. I went through an entire cleanse to get my liver ready. Did all of that through doTERRA vitamins. I can't take those post-op. They just don't sit well with me. I feel like my reflux is worse. I feel like I get nauseated. But pre-op, I went through doTERRA. It's an essential oils brand. It's super high quality, and I did all of their regimen of vitamins. I really think that helped me. Also, I started keto immediately when at the same time I decided to do this. So I lost from 270 to 235 pounds just strictly doing keto before my vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery, and I think that greatly helped in shrinking my liver and getting my body as healthy as I could get it before surgery. Who is my VSG mentor? I don't know that I have a specific, technically have a VSG mentor, but I kind of do. I kind of have two. One being, let's say three. One being all of the ladies on YouTube who did VSG ahead of me and inspired me and helped me decide that I could do this too, that I could choose me, that I could do this. So, these ladies that I don't actually even know in person, but Tanya, Voodoo Queen, Watch Kitty Shrink, Jess at Watch Kitty Shrink, and then one that I did get, there was a bunch of them. I'm just blanking on names right now, but one was Erin at My Level 10 Life, and she has become an actual real life friend to me. I have not met her in person, but we text, we talk, we've done some collaborations on YouTube together, and I just feel like she is so inspiring and motivational and has become a great friend. And then another YouTuber that I found her on YouTube as well is Dory, and she has Dory's VSG journey. I'll link both of them down below. Actually, I'll list all of the ladies that I mentioned down below. But Dory has become a real friend, and again, haven't met her in person, but we support people for each other. We text back and forth all the time, and she is way ahead of me. She's 3 years out. She is at goal, has been doing amazing. I mean, she still has a little bit of weight she wants to lose, but she's freaking amazing, and I lean on her a lot. I ask her questions, I watch what she's doing, I see what works for her, and I really rely on her a lot for a lot of things. Dory is amazing. She has a YouTube channel. It's not very large. It hasn't grown very fast for some reason, so I would love if y'all would go check out Dory's channel and subscribe. She is just an amazing person. She has the hugest heart for helping others, and she has just become such a friend. So go watch Dory. If you don't already, you need to know her. She shares so much information, and she is just completely real and honest, and you could ask her anything. She will help anybody. She's just amazing. I love you, Dory. Okay, do you exercise? I really don't, y'all. I have chronic pain, I have chronic health issues, and all of that could be helped somewhat with exercise. I have a problem with going all or nothing, and every time I have exercised, I end up in the bed for weeks. I cause major flares. So I've got to find a happy medium. I would like to start working in some yoga or some walking, working on my steps, maybe doing some mild weightlifting, but I'm scared to try because I'm scared I'm going to hurt myself. But that is something that I need to do going forward. But no, I haven't done any with my weight loss. Post-op pain, any recommendations? Okay, as a nurse, post-op pain, I'm going to tell you as a patient, but also as a nurse, the best thing you can do for yourself post-op is to get your honey out of that bed as quickly as you humanly can and start walking. Walk like it's your full-time job, because it is. It is your full-time job those first couple days. Sipping on liquids once you're allowed and walking is your full-time job. That's all that matters. We want you up and moving. The pain that happens after weight loss surgery, some people get it, some people don't really get it at all. It's the same as any laparoscopic abdominal surgery. There is trapped gas inside your abdominal cavity, not in your bowels, in your literal abdominal cavity. And pain medicine is not going to help that. It's just not. The only thing that's going to help is get moving. Move early and often. Move early and often. I can't say it enough times. Move early and often. As a nurse, I've said that 500 million times to patients. As a patient, that was exactly what I did. I walked my habituity off. I sipped and I walked. I sipped and I walked. I sipped and I walked. I made both of those my full-time job. Big time. Okay. Can I handle hot things again? For people that have followed my journey, I used to love spicy food, and since surgery, I have not been able to handle spicy food. I've actually gotten to the point now that spicy food makes me literally ill, like super, super sick, like whole body pain sick. So I have completely laid off of tomatoes and all peppers for at least the next 8 weeks. Ugh, I love spicy food. I love tomato-based things, but I've got to figure out what's going on with me. So no, I cannot. How do I modify keto for bariatric? I have a website, not a website, a Facebook page called TimetoShrink Bariatric Keto Support Group. I would love to have you come join me over there. I have a series, and I will link it up in the iCards, on explaining bariatric keto. It's a beginner series for bariatric keto, and also over in that group, in the announcements section, I have 3 videos explaining bariatric keto. It's a long, lengthy explanation, so I'd love for you to go watch those for that answer. But basically, it's not hard. It is not hard to make keto bariatric compliant. It works very easily, and I will go into major detail in those videos explaining that for you. Nausea post-op. Nausea is something that is actually pretty common post-op, and it can last for months for some people. Some people just have it the first couple of days after, and that's usually just from the anesthesia. After any surgery, some people respond with nausea. Some people post-op will have months of nausea. They'll have just a lot of trouble with it. I struggled with it for a little bit, the first few months. Actually, not to the point that I couldn't get in my fluids, but I did struggle with it. My doctor prescribed some Zofran, and that did help. Also, I majorly struggled, and still do, with acid reflux, and I have to take medication for that. And if I'm taking that correctly, that helps as well for me. And as far as getting in protein with nausea, I would rely heavily on adding Gene Pro to broths. Broths are the easiest thing to do when you're nauseous. Broths or thinned out shakes. And add your protein powder, add your Gene Pro, because it doesn't really add to the taste. How do I get macros in when I eat so little? I think that's kind of a keto question, a keto VSG question. So basically, I get it from healthy fats. Fats are a lot higher in calorie while smaller quantities. So if I get my protein in and I add healthy fats to that, I don't really have trouble hitting my calorie goals. And I do try to get a higher calorie goal. I am not at all about trying to eat very small amounts of calories. The lower you bring your metabolism, the lower you bring your calories on a consistent basis, the lower your metabolism is going to be, and the less you're going to be able to eat and still lose weight. So it was very important to me to get my calories up to a decent range as quickly as possible. By 6 months, I was at 1,000 to 1,200 a day, and now I try to get between 1,200 and 1,400, and I'm still getting those calories. I may be losing a little slower right now, but I mean, I've lost 99 pounds and I'm doing great and feeling great. VSG versus keto, which had a greater effect on your weight loss? I truly think keto had a greater effect. I do wonder some days, should I have done VSG? Did I need it? You can't really know because you did it, and it's part of my life. It's part of who I am. It's part of my journey now. So I do think that my weight loss did not speed up after vertical sleeve gastrectomy, I still pretty much stayed on the same weight loss trajectory that I was on when I started keto. I totally thought that when I had this surgery, the weight would just fall off, that I wouldn't have to work for it, especially the first year. I didn't think I'd have to work for it. I was somewhat misinformed on that. Maybe I buried my head in the sand a little bit, because I do watch other YouTubers that have had VSG, and not very many people just had it fall off and didn't have to do anything. Like, that's not realistic. So please don't think that that's realistic. I think VSG has definitely been a tool, but VSG is only a tool. You have to make a new lifestyle for yourself. You've got to make new choices. If you only change the quantity, it's gonna come back. If you don't change your whole life around, it's gonna come back. So you need to go into it knowing that it is a tool that you're gonna use, but that's it. And overall, I am happy that I did it. I do wonder sometimes if I could have done this without it. I totally think I could have done this without it, but it's been a good tool, and I still would recommend it to people, as long as you know that it is only a tool. It's only a part of your arsenal, but it's an amazing part of your arsenal. It's definitely helpful. It's majorly helped me with binge eating issues, for sure, because I cannot. So changing my lifestyle to keto, and then also, you know, obviously portion control. Let's see, the biggest VSG regret. I don't really have a regret. I don't have a big regret. How do you deal with holidays? I'm gonna try and think hard on this one and make a video for y'all about going into the holidays. I think if you're going into the holidays and you are just a few months out, it's different than if you're going to the holidays and you've had VSG 6 months ago, or if you had VSG a year ago, or 3 years ago, or 5 years ago. When I went into the holidays last year, I literally had my surgery the day after Thanksgiving. So I was on clear liquids for Thanksgiving. I had broth. I actually found like a turkey and cranberry flavored broth. That's what I had for Thanksgiving. And then the whole Christmas holidays, you know, I was still in my very, very early post-op stages, and I was not on full diet of any kind for the majority of the holidays. What I did was I prepared things that I could have, and I was very open with people that I'd had it, so it was never a big deal. Very shortly after my surgery, like within a couple weeks, we were traveling for soccer. We're traveling all the time, and one of the questions someone asked is, do I take my own food? I absolutely took my own food. I prepped, I planned, and it was easy. I made, again, the Gene Pro, y'all, but I packaged little things of Gene Pro and took them with me, and I would add them to soups. We went to places where I knew I could get clear broths. Like, we would go to Thai places or Chinese places, and I would get clear broths, and I would add my Gene Pro to it. I also would take my shakes with me. At that point, I was doing Iconic protein shakes. They were portable. I didn't have to make them. They were pre-mixed. They were the cleanest shake that I could find that was pre-mixed, and I planned ahead of time, and I prepped, and I took the stuff with me. I just didn't let it be a big deal, and it wasn't. It just wasn't a big deal. I just didn't let it be a big deal. I planned, I prepped, and then I just went with it. Now this year, I'm going into the holidays, and I'm planning to do lots of fun keto things, make lots of fun keto things over the holidays, things that anybody would like. Most of the food that I make, if not 99% of the food that I make, anybody would love. It's not specific for bariatric or specific for keto. Anybody would like it. And I bring my things that I could share. Jalapeno poppers. Now, I can't eat those right now because of the peppers, but you can make jalapeno poppers. You could make all kinds of cheese dips. You could make, I don't know. I don't have a whole list going in my head right now, but you could make all kinds of things that are appropriate to take if you're going to like a holiday party or something. But also at this point in my journey, I'm planning to probably partake of a few goodies on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on New Year's Eve. Not the whole holiday season. The whole holiday season I am going to stay keto, and I'm going to make keto goodies. And I plan to be losing through the holidays still because I am on a weight loss journey. But on those specific days, if I'm at my mom's house or somebody's house that is having something amazing, somebody makes an amazing apple pie, I'm going to have a small portion, and I'm not going to feel bad about it because I'm on a journey. I've changed my life. This is my life now, y'all. So I'm just going to enjoy it. And I actually think that was the last question. And my kids just came home, so perfect timing.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't know I'd be
It's fine. All right, that literally was the last question. So we are done. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you have any more questions, please ask me. You can DM me privately. You can go join my Facebook group and ask there. You can ask me down below. I answer every single comment, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. And if you have ideas or topics that you would like me to make a video on, share those too. I definitely plan to make some holiday videos about ideas of things to eat, things to take, how to handle it, all of that kind of stuff, specifically for VSG and keto. Okay, I've got my dog leash here. She doesn't even need me to be holding it right now. She's laying down. New puppy. Okay, bye y'all. I'll talk to you again really soon.